these problems might have been prevented and how we can ensure that they not recur. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Sanders.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Apologize for jumping in and out, but there's a meeting upstairs being sponsored by the National Organization of Women, which is suggesting perhaps the need for a third political party, something dear to my heart, so I'm running up and down.
They had their entire caucus there, didn't they? Showed up. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. It wasn't meant
Well,
to
the entire caucus, Jim, within this building, we feel we have many millions of people outside of the building.
I know you do.
Seems to be the problem with American politics.
Excuse me for taking your time. Sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I thank you for bringing forth this important meeting and bringing these gentlemen before us. And with your permission, I'd like to submit for the record a statement, but I want to divert a little bit.
Without objection, your statement as prepared will be on the record.
Mr. Chairman, I know that you share the feelings of many Americans that something is not right in the American banking system today. And while I think this hearing is very important in trying for us to understand how BCCI could have gotten influence and where were our regulators and so forth and so on, I think the problem runs, in fact, a lot deeper than that. Let's just stop for a moment and look at what has been happening in this country in the last several years. We start with the savings and loan situation where a significant number of the leading bankers in the S&L industry were involved not just in stupid investments, not just with greedy actions, but in outright illegal activity. I've heard estimates running as high as 35% of the institutions that failed were involved in illegal activity. And then, as you know, Mr. Chairman, we then proceed to deal with the commercial banks. And what we hear there about the greed in which these people have taken their depositors' money, invested in quick, get-rich real estate schemes. They have invested in third world dictatorships. They have passed money around to each other. And now the taxpayers will be asked to spend tens and tens of billions of dollars passing out, trying to bail out those institutions. And then yesterday, 2 days ago, we heard from Mr. Clifford, Mr. Altman, about the BCCI, and we'll be continuing that discussion today. And I have to tell you, Mr. Chairman, that I have the sad feeling that several months from now, we will be sitting in this room hearing again about another banking scandal. I myself do not have confidence that the federal government at this point is capable of regulating the banking industry. I think we need radical changes in the relationship of banks to America, because while the bankers are engaging in selfish, greedy activities, at the same time, the standard of living of our people is declining because banks are not reinvesting in the United States of America. And I think what we have to be clear and begin to discuss is what is the function of the banking institutions in this country. Why are we not reinvesting in our factories, in our farms, in our small businesses, creating the kinds of jobs that we should be creating? 2 days ago, whether it was not illegal, the question that I asked of Mr. Altman and Mr. Clifford was, what goes on, even if everything they said was honest, and many of us doubt that, what goes on when two leading American bankers, multimillionaires, pillars of the establishment, are taking huge sums of money from Middle Eastern potentates, including third world dictators? That's who the leader of Abu Dhabi is. He's a third world dictator, and these guys are working for them. So I would suggest, Mr. Chairman, that maybe at some point in the future we've got to change the focus of this, because every 2 months it's going to happen again. The American people do not have faith in the leadership of the banking system, and for good reason. We're sick and tired of bailing out to the tunes of tens and tens of billions of dollars these criminals. And when we talk about the crime problem, I know the President of the United States is very concerned about crime in America. Well, I got news for you. We are seeing the major swindles, the major criminal activities do not necessarily take place on dark alleys and in streets. They take place in corporate boardrooms. So I think we have got to be thinking, perhaps, Mr. Chairman, a little bit more radically in terms of the responsibility of the banking community to the people of the United States. And I applaud you for holding this hearing, but I hope in the future we'll get a little bit deeper into that issue. I thank you.
Thank you, sir. Gentlemen, the committee is proceeding under Rule 10 and 11.